Investing in the Pillow, From Lounging to Success. Chapter 1. The Misunderstood Art of Doing Nothing. For centuries, humanity has glorified the image of constant hustle. People admire the one who wakes up at 4 a.m., runs 5 kilometers, drinks green juice, and somehow already answers 30 emails before breakfast. Meanwhile, there is another group of people. They wake up, stare at the ceiling, roll to the side, and whisper, 5 more minutes. Those 5 minutes often become 20, sometimes 30, occasionally an entire lifestyle. But here is the secret nobody tells you. Not all stillness is laziness. Sometimes it is strategic stillness. When you lie on a pillow, your body rests but your brain can wander. Great ideas rarely appear when you are rushing between meetings. They appear when you are staring at the ceiling thinking about absolutely nothing. Isaac Newton had an apple. Archimedes had a bathtub. You have a pillow. And honestly, that is a very underrated research facility. Chapter 2. The Pillow as a Strategic Investment. Most investments require capital. Stocks, real estate, startups, all expensive. But the pillow, low cost, high comfort, long-term returns. Think about it. When you lie down and relax, your brain enters a state scientists call the default mode network. This is when the mind connects ideas that normally would never meet. For example, someone lying down thought, what if people could order food without calling a restaurant? Gives food delivery apps were born. Someone resting probably wondered, why must taxes be waived from the street? Gives ride-hailing apps appeared. Important inventions rarely begin with someone shouting, work harder. They usually begin with someone staring at the ceiling and thinking, there must be an easier way. The pillow is not laziness. It is the brainstorming headquarters. Chapter 3. The Difference Between Lazy and Efficient. Let us clarify something important. Lazy people say, I don't want to do this. Efficient people say, there must be a smarter way to do this. Both may be lying down, but the mindset is different. Consider the inventor who created the TV remote control. Do you think it came from someone who loved standing up every 5 minutes to change the channel? No, it came from someone who thought standing up is highly overrated. History quietly proves something fascinating. Many innovations exist because someone wanted to avoid unnecessary effort. Automatic doors, dishwashers, elevators, online shopping, all monuments to humanity's eternal dream, doing things without getting up. Chapter 4. Productive Lounging. Now, not all lounging leads to success. There is a technique. Professional loungers follow 3 principles. 1. Rest first, think later. When the body relaxes, creativity wakes up. Your brain stops fighting stress and starts playing with ideas. 2. Ask lazy questions. Questions like, why is this so complicated? Can this be automated? Can someone else do this faster? These questions build entire industries. 3. Write down ideas before you fall asleep. Because brilliant thoughts often appear right before sleep and disappear by morning like socks in a washing machine. A notebook near the pillow is not a decoration. It is an investment portfolio of future ideas. Chapter 5. The Pillow Economy. Imagine to people. Person. Works non-stop for 12 hours but repeats the same inefficient tasks every day. Person B lies down for 1 hour, thinks of a better system, and builds something that works automatically. One is tired. The other is rested and scalable. This is the beginning of the pillow economy. In this economy, people invest not only money but also mental space. The more space your brain has to think, the more unusual connections appear. Great ideas are rarely loud. They arrive quietly while you are relaxed, often between 2 moments. I should get up. And maybe after 5 more minutes. Chapter 6. The Legendary 5-Minute Delay. The 5-minute delay is one of the most powerful forces in human history. You know the moment. The alarm rings. You hit snooze. During that short moment between sleep and waking, your brain floats in a strange creative zone. Problems look different. Solutions appear unexpectedly. Of course, sometimes the only solution is going back to sleep. But occasionally, a brilliant idea appears. A business idea, a creative project, a smarter way to work, which proves an unusual truth. Success does not always begin with running. Sometimes it begins with not getting up immediately. Chapter 7: Smart Rest versus Endless Laziness. Of course, there is a danger. The pillow can be an investment, but it can also become a permanent residence. The difference is simple. Smart rest gives think plan, then act. Endless laziness gives think about acting someday. Maybe, eventually, after another nap. The goal of pillow investing is not to escape work. It is to design work so well that you do less of it. Because the ultimate dream of humanity has never been working endlessly. It has always been this simple vision: doing meaningful things, earning success, while occasionally lying down with a very comfortable pillow. Chapter 8: The Real Meaning of Doing Nothing. At first glance, lying down looks like doing nothing. But sometimes doing nothing is actually recovering energy, observing the world, connecting ideas, planning smarter actions. True rest is not the enemy of success. Exhaustion is. A tired mind repeats old habits. A rested mind invents new possibilities. That is why many great ideas arrive in quiet moments during walks, showers, or while resting on a comfortable pillow. Stillness gives creativity room to breathe. Chapter 9: The Final Lesson of the Pillow. In the end, the pillow teaches a surprisingly balanced lesson. Work matters. Ideas matter. Rest also matters. Too much work without rest leads to burnout. Too much rest without action leads to missed opportunities. Success often lives somewhere in the middle. Think deeply. Act wisely. Rest when needed. And occasionally allow yourself a moment of quiet lounging, staring at the ceiling, wondering about new possibilities. Because somewhere between effort and relaxation, between ambition and comfort, between action and reflection, a simple pillow might quietly help you discover your next great idea. Final thought: the world often tells us that success only belongs to those who run the fastest. But sometimes success belongs to those who pause long enough to think of a better direction. So if one day you find yourself lying on a pillow, staring at the ceiling, thinking about an idea that seems small but interesting, do not dismiss it too quickly. Write it down. Think about it. Try it. Because the journey from lounging to success might begin with something very simple: a quiet room, a curious mind, and a surprisingly good pillow.